Welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. And today is the last recording of the Authority Gang for 2021. The next time you hear us will be a brand new year. So I want to welcome Krystle Dookoo and Carol Boston to the show. Unfortunately, our beloved Samantha couldn't make it tonight. You know, sometimes right now having kids during COVID and it's not easy. And so, you know, when Samantha has to deal with things at home, we completely, totally respect and support her in that. But we do miss her here on the show. So tonight, or actually we're recording it tonight, you could be listening to it at any time. We're going to be talking about our business plans for 2022. And, you know, I'm hoping that through this discussion that some things come out that are going to help you as you prepare for your 2022 in the business. So first of all, let's just go around and do a quick catch up. Krystle, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, okay. Well, Kim, lately I've been up to balancing, as many of you guys know, which I'm sure we have entrepreneurs out there who are still working full-time jobs. So I am working, plus my business have been going very well in terms of I have the clients that I want, my private client spots filled. And now I have been rolling out classes where I am also teaching entrepreneurs who's not yet ready for that one-on-one private, how to teach them how to use social media, how to use LinkedIn so that they can have that knowledge. So I've been rolling out those classes as well and setting that up.
That is so awesome. I love how you have different levels in there because not everybody's in the same place, right?
Yes, exactly. And sometimes like one of my private clients, she reached out. She's like, my mom wants to learn about, because her mom also has her own business. And she's like, my mom wants to learn about these basic things because she's not yet ready, but she wants to learn these things. And, you know, as a social media manager, I take it for granted that people know how to do these things. And, and you know, so I like having that information where I break it down for them very easily, simply. So I was like, yeah, of course. So we have a class set up where I'm going to teach her how to do like basic Facebook postings, everything she needs to know about how to post, when to post, how to get her hashtags going and that kind of thing. And it's fun. It's nice. I realize I like the teaching part of it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know what, like we, as entrepreneurs, we've got to remember that sometimes we know so much more than the people that we're trying to serve. So sometimes we have to remember that, like, we think it's so easy and yet it's like, you know, to them, it's like impossible. Like tonight, I had an issue with my video before. So when you had an issue with your video, I'm like, okay, go here, yeah. Go here, right? You're like, oh, that's so great. Yeah, because I had to work through it the hard way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then now you were able to teach me to do it in such a quick time. Because how long? It's been like about 3 weeks like this, and I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so Krystle was on her side, and for a while I was upside down.
Okay.
Yeah, so, just love the joys of technology someday. Carol, what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. I am filling my first high-end mastermind for female family lawyers.
Woo-hoo!
Very excited about that. As a matter of fact, you know, oftentimes people say, well, do you actually do the things you get your clients to do? And I'm like, yeah. So last Thursday, for example, 2 weeks prior, I had interviewed a female family attorney who also was a business coach to law firms. And at the end of our interview, I said, is there anything that we haven't spoken about that you'd like to talk about? And she leans in and she goes, how can I be a part? And I said, do you want to be expert faculty or do you want to be a member of the mastermind? And she said, I want to be expert faculty and I want to put one of my senior associates in the mastermind. I was ecstatic. I'm thinking she's the first one that I talked to that knew what a mastermind was. She was running and we do things very differently. I thought this is going to be awesome. Here we are 2 weeks later. I've got my contracts from the attorney all finalized, send them off. I get this email on Thursday from her, this long email stating that basically she was overextended, could not do it this year. And her senior associate had a terminally ill family member. She couldn't do it. Love what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Now, at first I was really disappointed. And I stayed disappointed for about 60 seconds or so. And I thought, wait a minute. And I asked myself this empowering question. I walked around my kitchen 3 or 4 times and I said, what one thought that I'm not thinking right now, that if I were to think it would completely change my perspective on this? I only had to walk around 3 or 4 times and it was like, the right people are always in the room. She's not supposed to be in the room for this mastermind. I then got on the phone and I booked 6 appointments with attorneys who are excited to go over the contract for the mastermind. So those of you who know me, I'm the Queen of Reframe. And yes, I do practice what I get my clients to do.
Well, it's kind of funny that you said that, Carol, because guess what finally came in the mail last week? So if you're on the podcast, I'm holding up a printed copy of my Author to Authority book. So I just got the printed copies in. It is up on Amazon, but it's not really for sale yet. So the news will be coming soon on that to get your copy. So the publisher finally published her own book after so many years in. But, it's kind of like the shoemaker's kids, right? Like, I only have so much creative mojo. And if I've already spent, 5, 6, 7 hours in a day writing for other people, there's only so much I can do for me. So it's been a long time coming, but I'm happy and we are moving forward. So it just feels like a breath of fresh air because it's been a long time coming.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Carol. All right. So, I'm not sure how long this episode's going to go today. So we'll go as long as we can. And but I want to talk about, what does 2022 look like for you? Because as entrepreneurs, you should always have dual focus. I think you should always be looking forward to the future, what's ahead, what you're moving into, your ultimate goals of where you want to be. But your focus should also be on what do you do now? Right? Like, I think it's like 2 sides of the same coin, right? You focus on the future, but if you don't focus on now, you never get to the future. So I'd love to hear what your guys' plans are for 2022 and some things that you're going to be focusing in on to make it an even better year than 2021 was. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think you also would benefit from looking back. What worked this year?
Yes.
What didn't work? What was your easiest path to cash? What are your 5 superpowers that were working during the year? So you may not believe this, but I actually started this today. This says this year, next year, monthly income, days of the week I want to work, how many I worked last year, what I want to work, my office hours, and office hours are clients and training active hours, and then my admin hours, right? Including travel time and time off. Then what I did is I went in my calendar and I blocked off every month that has 5 weeks. That 5th week I'm on vacation.
Nice.
And what someone told me was, where are you going? I said, what do you mean? They said, it's really easy to block it off. But oftentimes as entrepreneurs, if we stay home, we tend to stay in the business. So that's my next challenge, is to go put where I'm going. So then I outline my programs. You can't really see them all, but my first 2 masterminds, my VIP days, and my private clients, the number I'm going to have, the amount of money, revenue it'll bring in. Then I got a subtotal, and that's my minimum. And I'm going to do a minimum, a medium, and a maximum. And that's why it's important to see what worked and what didn't work. Right? So let's see. Here's something someone said to me today in my group coaching that was valuable. Just because I can do it doesn't mean I have to do it. Think about that.
Nor should you do it.
Right. How often do we do that? So the other thing we're doing, another thing I learned, was that you have a must-take vacation. You have to take it. You have a rockin' vacation. And then you have a mind blower vacation, depending on how you're doing. And I said to her, well, what if I don't want to travel? What if I want to spend my money on something else? She goes, what do you want? I said, honey, I got my eye on a pair of $10,000 diamond earrings that would blow your mind. She said that would buy a lot of vacations. I said, yeah, but that vacation happens once, and these earrings I can wear every day.
That would be a vacation in a box.
Exactly. They're gorgeous. I actually had my eye on two different pairs. But the other thing that was really important that we talked about lifestyle. How often do we look at our lifestyle, right? As an entrepreneur, we don't. We get up every day, and I've been guilty of it. Work, 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 work. And so one of the things that's my responsibility in my planning that I would have people consider is, what is something that you're doing that is not the highest and best use of your time, that if you got someone else to do it, would free up that time to propel you for, like she said, maybe you need to get a housekeeper, even if it's once a month, right? So you're not spending 4 or 5 hours, however long you spend on the weekend, to clean up your house and clean everything. The lady who's talking to me is Kristen Thompson, and she went through a difficult battle with breast cancer this past year. She still has only a little bit of hair now. She has no hair. She said she learned Instacart became her best friend because she couldn't go to the grocery store. She was too sick. And she said, Instacart's still going to be my friend. So that would be, some of the things I would challenge you with. Look back what worked, look at what you want to do, and then actually set a plan.
So what was one thing that really worked for you this year, Carol?
Snowmageddon calls, $97 for 90 minutes, clarity to cash. Absolutely, Snowmageddon calls worked. They were a good lead gen for private clients. And even those who maybe didn't become private clients, but became great testimonials, because I'm really good at getting people really quickly into effective action to get immediate results.
Yes.
So I got some video testimonials from clients that was all they did. They took that 90-minute call and got great results.
That is awesome. Krystle, what about you? What's on your game plan for 2022? And since Carol brought it up, what worked for you in 2021?
Well, for me, game plan wise, I definitely want to delve. I have 4 different classes that I have test run, and the feedback has been good. So just getting those on a schedule and really developing content that are also working out on that content, making sure that I have a set, whether it's running once a month or once every other month. That's I have those 4 classes set out. So that's what I'm working on right now, to make sure the content is tight, taking the feedback from everyone that took the class, adding in different things, because it was really good to that worked for me, that I ran some test classes so that I can get feedback. And you know what, sometimes we want to run test things and we feel we have to give it away for free. No, I lowered the value a little bit, and I said, this is a lot of information you're getting. You can benefit from this, but this is what I want in return. And that worked really well to bring in added revenue. But it also worked in that now it gave me a very good structure. So when I'm ready to launch it out, I know that it's consistent, and then this is the revenue that I'm expecting to bring in, whether it's every month or every other month. So that is my game plan. Because my goal, I love to travel. And I love to travel and just be disconnected. So my goal is to really move towards running classes, so I have time where I can generate that income, but that I can free up a lot of time to go on these trips. I recently discovered my love for BTS, which is an Asian K-pop group that has taken the world by storm. They're like just like the Beatles now, and they're just launching their world tour next year. So my best friend and I have some concerts to go to. And so that's why I'm setting that up. I have my revenue that's going to that, plus other things like, other investments I want to make. But so looking at how my business works for me, as well as how I can enjoy building it. And then one of the next thing that I'm launching for 2022, which I have been not just really building out the content as well for that, is I love higher ed and I love working with international students. And that's my heart. I've been in it for a long time. I do like helping them. And the next thing that I want to launch is really running a program that can offer information to international students. So I've been working out whether I want to do it on a one-on-one basis or want to do it as a subscription-based program where they can subscribe and I upload information to that channel every month or every week so that and then if they choose to work one-on-one with me, they can schedule a private meet, but just really forming it as a subscription base so that every week I upload content and guide them through that steps, and then they can pay for that. So those are the two things that I'm working on for 2022. And what I've learned, what worked really, really well for me in 2021 is to-do lists. They're fantastic. I love it. I've gone through so many books. I map out, and because it helps you really take accountability for your day. And usually I have a game plan for the week, but for me, it was really having a game plan each day. And I had so I would work on my full-time job. I have that mapped out, what I need to get done today. Then I have my clients, what I need to get done today, and then what I need to get done today for me. And that has really, really helped me become very disciplined and very focused. So to-do lists, for me, I like to write things out. That worked. I would say that definitely was a big thing that helped me become a lot more structured in 2021.
That is so cool, Krystle. Something I was thinking of is, why not automate your courses and then just maybe do like 1 or 2 Zoom calls a month where people just can come on and ask questions and get personalized support. Because then you're not tied down to teaching classes. People can take it exactly when they want to. And, they can either just take the course or they can take the course and upgrade to have the group Zoom calls with support.
That actually, I didn't even think about that. That's a good plan. Somebody introduced me to this site and I forgot what it's called. And he showed me where the guy it's very user-friendly where you upload the courses on there and people subscribe. They pay like $10 subscription. And then I can do the Zoom and put it there and charge more for it.
Yep.
So I'm taking a look into that. So that's a good idea because there are certain things with the visa process that's going to be more like training, like teaching them about how to answer questions when you go into the embassy, what your document package should have, how you should prepare yourself. That's more like a one-on-one thing. So actually I can look into putting that into like that Zoom.
Yeah, but even your Facebook course, like even your social media course, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And then, maybe do 2 Zoom calls a month where people can come on. And then if people want your personalized help, then they're going into your one-to-one, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because right now it's general. So the goal would be to move it into one-on-one. Let's work it out for what your particular industry is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Kim, what have you been doing? What are you planning?
Well, so my goal for 2022 is just really to get the book out there. I plan on doing speaking engagements, really getting out there on podcasts. That's one of my goals for 2022. Like 2021 was just, let's get the book done. Let's get the basics in. Going to be doing hopefully the book launch in January. This year has had challenges in it. And, you guys know, but one of the challenges has been my health and, having to slow down, not go full speed ahead all the time because they were saying it was literally killing me. Right. I ended up in the hospital 3 times with my heartbeat at almost 200 beats per minute. That's not a good thing. So, one of the things I've really had to learn to do this year was slow down and not be so strict on my goals, because there's just times I do have to physically slow down for my health. So one of my focuses of 2021 was to start getting more exercise in. And so I, like you, Carol, I went into my calendar and I block off 2 days a week where I don't deal with any clients. It's not that I don't work, but I'm not dealing with clients or anything else like that. And on those days, I go swimming now. I take an aquafit class and I'm slowly starting to lose weight, but the main goal is to stay active and have, that good cardio workout. But, in the pool, I can do it without hurting my back because there's back things going on. So that's been a real focus, but 2022 is really about getting Author to Authority out there, building that email list. Once we do the book launch and the summit, there will also be the course. So the course is going to teach you how to write your own book in 2022.
Oh, nice.
And so it's going to be the hybrid. So, I will have all of the course material videoed out, but then have like bi-weekly Zoom calls. So while people are working on their books, they can come on bi-weekly. And there'll also be like a Facebook group, probably a Facebook group to begin with, but I might develop an app because like there's ways you can develop apps like community group apps. But that's probably a little bit later down because I got a lot of other stuff I got to get in place first before that. But, have the Facebook group for support, have the bi-weekly Zoom meetings so people can come on and ask questions. And then of course, if they want, one-on-one time with me, there will be an upgrade. So you get, so many hours of one-on-one time with me to be able to discuss your book and book writing. Of course, from that is also going to come, editing jobs. There'll be people who don't want to write their own book. So all of that kind of flows, I have different levels for people at different places. And so the goal is just to really get it out there. One of the ways I plan on doing that is, I want to try and be on about 30 or 40 podcasts next year. And I've got lots of resources to get my name out there into the podcast community. So I've been laying a good foundation this year so that next year I can just, really just ramp it up. I've been on several podcasts. I've been on a couple of radio shows, done some Facebook Lives. So just set a foundation this year. And then now that the book's done, next year is just going to be ramping it up. Every week I will be, making connections, going back through my other connections, really working my network of people, and then also doing a lot of sort of cold. I have, I'm part of memberships where you can go in and you can either go in as a podcast host and request guests, or you can go in as a guest and request to be on people's shows. So I have a lot of resources there to get on those podcasts. So I'm excited about 2022 and where it is going to go. Some things I'm not 100% sure of yet. Like I'm feeling some things out and I'm kind of like, okay, because also as a company, we're going to be offering additional services. We're going to be offering audiobooks, hardcover books. What was the other thing? Helping people set up their own podcasts. So that's coming in 2022 as well. So not only a lot of new business coming in, but providing more services for my clients that I already have. So that's the game plan.
Good.
And I think what really worked for me in 2021 was, really allowing my clients to send me a lot of referrals, making it easy for them to do that. And a lot of my business came that way because they were actively out there looking for clients for me. And of course, I always reward them and, show my appreciation. So, and I want that to continue, but I also want to put things in place so it's a little bit more predictable as well. So lots on the game plan, and we'll work through everything one thing at a time. But I am focusing on taking things off my plate. That was, like you talked about that, Carol, and that's something that has been a focus in 2021 is, what can I get other people to do? So even within my team, been working with them to have them take on more responsibilities with the clients, But of course, I need to be very careful. I need to make sure my team is ready for that. And so I've been working with some of my team members who are ready so that they're doing more with the client and I'm doing less. Because I was always the main contact point for everything. And sometimes I'm not even sure what's going on because I have Juanita, amazing person who manages the project. So the goal is to take more of that off my plate and then be able to focus more on growing the business.
Nice.
So
Exciting.
that's my 2022.
Yeah. You know, I feel like from when we all started, I think when we met in 2020, right?
2019.
2019. And then when with the start of when you were hosting.
No, actually it was 2020 we met.
Okay.
2020, yeah, March,
then,
April, May, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then doing these, I feel like, you know, you can see the growth in every area. And sometimes things, there might have been plans, like as you said, sometimes there might be certain goals that may not have pan out, but as Carol always talks about, you know, that reframe and that mindset shift. Okay, well, what is the lesson or what direction do I go in? But the goal is to, you know, work towards that goal and understand that sometimes it takes different paths, but keep moving forward.
Yeah, and you know,
and remember what Richard Branson said, right? How many entrepreneurs quit when they're this close?
Yeah, exactly.
And Richard Branson says, don't confuse needing a nap with needing to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, my thing in 2021 is I learned I needed to take naps.
Yep.
Right? Not quit, not give up.
Yeah.
But there was times I just needed to slow down and take a nap. And so, you know, for me, just I've had to let go of not let go of the goals, but I've had to let go sometimes of the timeline on the goals.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't realistic for what I can do right now. So, well, you know what? We're almost at the 7:30 mark here. How about we each give a quick parting thought for the end of the year, and then we'll close it down. And also, ladies, how can people get a hold of you? So, Krystle, you want to go first?
Yes. So my parting thought is that, you know, and it's okay that for you to change how your business looks. When I first started, I didn't think I would ever be doing classes. But as I started to do it and people started to ask me, I realized, wow, this is something I enjoy. Mm-hmm. And it might not have been in my original plan, but it's something to take a look at. So while you're growing and you're building, be open to knowing that sometimes your business can change how it looks and be open to following that. And you can get in contact with me via LinkedIn and Krystle Dookoo or info@imagerymentors.com.
Awesome. Carol, your final thought for 2021.
Never forget the most powerful of all empowering questions. What else is possible today? Right? What else is possible today? So often people get stuck and they're stuck in their jar and they can't see their way out. But when you put that out to God in the universe, it will open doors that you can't even imagine.
So true.
Yeah.
You know, one thing just really been sticking in kind of in my gut for the last month or so, and it just kind of keeps coming up is, you know, it's a beautiful thing in your entrepreneurial journey when your passion, your purpose, and your skills all meet in the same place. I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we have the passion, but there's no purpose and we may not have the skills, right? Or one of the three. I think a lot of times when we start as entrepreneurs, we have one of those three things. But I think sometimes in time, what happens is all of a sudden you hit that point, and sometimes you have to change things up. I mean, I had several different businesses before I found the one where my passion, my purpose, and my skills all came together. But like Carol said, don't quit. Maybe you need to take a nap. Maybe you need to make a turn. Maybe you need to go in a different direction, but don't quit. Because if you don't quit, there will come that day when your passion, your purpose, your skills all come together, and all of a sudden it's worth everything that you've been through. So I'm Kim Thompson-Pinder for the Authority Gang with Krystle Dookoo and Carol Boston. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.